our story, how we ended up here. And start from the seerah. Start from going back to the history. And we don't want to make it long. To the beginning of the 19th century, there were no Muslims in Europe and the western part of the globe. Only those are used by British to colonize the world and to expand their kingdom. They grab people, Muslims from here and there, to use them for whatever they need. And they allow them to go and live in England when they retired or when they are not needed for the service. The rest of the Western globe, absolutely free of any existence of significance Muslim. As we know, Islam spread in all directions according to the teaching of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he sent messengers with letters to all known states and countries and rulers and empires and governors known at that time. And all went fine. And Islam expanded throughout the world in that direction and stayed there today and forever, except one front, that north of Arabia, there was a wall. That wall ended up, as we know, in Cyprus. Muslims have tried to go from the west and through Egypt, Tunisia, and then Morocco, Casablanca, and then Spain and southern France. And they were pushed back all the way and cleared to Marrakesh, and no Muslim left behind in this part of Europe. Then later, Muslims tried from the eastern part when the Turkish Empire strong. And they went north from the eastern part to Vienna. And Vienna was under siege for a while. And then they were pushed back all the way to Turkey. So, this is a real barrier, a real wall that does not tolerate the Islamic faith, religion, the oneness of Allah, because they religion based on many gods and the Son of God and the Savior and the original sin and all of these things. So to have only one God is not accepted, has been centuries like that. Now, as we move forward, the Europeans themselves basically decided to push away their religion, push it onto the shelves, and has nothing to do with the life of the society and the laws and the media and all these things. Push it aside, and then we just move to follow our desires. And we heard the khatira the other day from Imam Kashif, Allah be pleased with him. You cannot have hawa and huda. Said, you cannot have follow my desires and I want to be guided. That cannot be combined. These two has, either you have your desires, you follow it, and then you mess up too much in your guidance. Or you follow the guidance, then you control and rule your hawa. And so they decided we are going to follow our hawa in the religion matters and morality and so on and so forth. So what happened? The disturbance, political disturbance throughout the Muslim world, and the colonials caused Muslims to trickle one by one and to go through this wall as if it doesn't exist. Muslims go there not carrying religion, for either professional or education or refugees or moving from one to find a living. And the Western Europe said, fine, you'll come on. And the people from the north went to the whole Muslim world, saying, we are not anymore crusaders. We are not anymore propagating to save you, to convert you, to become Christians. We are not. We are here to develop you. Colonialism means to develop the people, the land and the money and the way of living, and we are going for you to separate. Religion is there. Here the Al-Azhar, here the Zaytuna, you want to be a scholar, you want to be sheikh, you want to be imam, you want to be mullah, you want to be maulana. Go on your own. You want to be a professional, you want to be a minister, you want to be education, you want to be a teacher, you want to be an officer. You have to separate this in your life. And you have two paths. Either you go religious or you go secular, where you become something important in life. And there are incentives and there are a lot of good things into that. Now, that it might seem to us, it's only individual. I'm from Yemen. The conditions were bad and found an opportunity to come here and learn. And when I learned, I liked here and I got a job and I'm here. I have a family and a state. That is not real. Really, it is a collective perspective. Yes, you came as an individual, and it is an individual case, but finally you are here, part of the community, part of the whole ummah, part of history, as a result of the interaction between all human people on the globe. And your number becomes significant. And as I said, the greatest estimate, 50 million Muslims in North America, now even spreading in South America, more than you expect, and then Europe. This is reality. Now the question to us, what we are here for? Just to live, to eat, to drink, to have a house, and fine. But you can have family. Those families are going to belong to what? To Christianity, to the local culture, to the media, to the pop culture, to non-Islamic identity. They are going to belong to where? Now, this is a serious matter. You have decided on their behalf to live here. You are responsible for them. Those who were not born, those who were kids, they were in the unseen world. You came here and you brought kids and you decided on their behalf, I am going to live here and I am going to preserve my religion, my faith, my morality, my family, my sharia. Then you are responsible to fulfill those decisions you made. As when they are grown, you might have no say. According to the country, they will decide what they want to do with their life, with their iman, with their faith, with their marriages, with their interest or no interest, with their finance. They went, and you have no choice. So, there is an obligation on you, because it was your own freedom to move from one place to another, from a place where it is ruled by Sharia to a place where it is ruled by anti-Sharia. And maybe we are here in Texas because it is Republican, it is conservative. We don't feel the pressure. But just last week I was in California and Michigan. The case has been changed. You have to teach your kids education about LGBT by the law. Muslim or not Muslims. And Muslims in California looking for a place to move, where to go. I don't want my kids to learn any of that. Has nothing to do with my religion or faith or my intention or my future. And the same thing in Michigan. You have too many charter school financed by the state, then you have to teach the kids. And they have to have classes on learning LGBT rules and all this kind of, So, people really, Muslims in California, living in hell. What to do with your kids? Even if you say, I'm going to do homeschooling, still they have to go once a week to a teacher to teach them all these things. And they like it, because this is going to get us what? Contained, pressed, pressured, compromised, water down our religion. Water it down. Water it down. So, with that in mind, if all of us collectively are not engaged, active participant in the following areas, then my existence here is questionable in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number one, da'wah and outreach. If I am not active and participating, and I know it is an obligation that we have to make the da'wah program very effective and to reach out to the rest of the society, that is going to save them and to save us and our future. And this is a collective obligation. If there is good work and it is effective, that's fine. Otherwise, it becomes an individual obligation on each one of us. Now, the da'wah and outreach, we'll have another talk about it later. What is the detail? That's number one. Number two, if we are not engaged and actively participating in Islamic education, we have schools. But you know what is school? School is not building. School is two things, teachers and curriculums. We have none. Real qualified. We didn't have college to bring a Muslim teacher to teach physics and astronomy and algebra, and we don't have. We borrow. We didn't have curriculums, whether Islamic curriculums or the world materialistic curriculums. We borrow from here and patches this way and that way and that way. So, if we are not going to have a model Islamic education where we export teachers to the public school, they are in need to teachers. Why we didn't have a college of education where we graduate, instead of graduating hafiz and hafiz and hafiz, which is good, and sheikh and sheikh and sheikh, and mufti and mufti and mufti. We need teachers, brothers, that can cover the need of our Islamic school and export to the public school where they need. And if you have significant amount of teacher in public school, they will turn things around. Kids where they like things and believe in it, and they have a role model teacher, a good Muslim teacher, he will turn things around. That is number two. And number three is, how many relief organizations? We cannot count. But how many media organizations? We need media. We need somebody to speak the truth, to present Islam to the whole world. We need someone to spread the light through the media. We have not a single Islamic organization that work on media, Islamic media. But we have how many? Reliefs and relief and relief. You just feed them and let the enemy to corrupt their mind and their life and their religion. The fourth one is legal things. We need a strong organizations and lawyers and firm to defend the family, the values of family, to defend the freedom of religion. Now it is not anymore here, freedom of religion. You have to teach your kids something and tie your religion. So unless we have a many organizations and firms that are Islamic and they defend us, this front is going to take over everything in our life. And then Islamic finance. We either go to borrow, interest, haram, against Allah, rules, and Quran and live with these luxurious houses, or we have to bring it cash, or we live in apartment. And you live in apartment 20 years. You pay $300,000 for that period as a rent. By the end of that, you lost your job, you are homeless, and get out of here. Unless we are well established, unless we have Islamic finance, where we can survive, where we can basically bring a little justice. What is justice? I lived in this cave, what do you call it, apartment or a house, for 20 years. I paid $400,000, and I am now bankrupt, homeless on the street. What is justice? And the bank got the money, and the insurance got the money, and the state got the tax, and all of them paid by me, and I ended up on the street. And also, the next area that Muslims need to wake up and work on it if we are going to survive, if we are going to thrive. Supposedly, we're supposed to thrive. Where we are going to be the minaret of Islam in the West. It seems to me the darkness is taking over as this minaret. We are not really pushing back. We are not spreading anywhere this light. So if you are going to be the minaret of Islam, then we need beside all of this, we need a system where we preserve the second generation. Means, as we know today, and to be honest and blunt, we have a lot of Islamic schools throughout the country. I have visited every state. Go and do some statistics. Those graduate from Islamic schools throughout the country, how many of them, after they graduated, the girls still wear hijab? You're going to be shocked. How many of them, once they get job and their family, is still effectively engaged and participant in the center, in the da'wah, in the education? None. Get busy, family, and they disappear. Majority of them, 80% of them. And we are not really saying what is behind the wall. Once this generation finishes, doesn't know Quran, doesn't speak Arabic to be connected to the Quran, doesn't know much about the religion, and then get engaged in life, so many pressing issues in life, has no time for all of these, has so many other issues to be engaged and spend their time and resources. So we are not really going the right way. We are not clear really what path we are going through. We are not clear. And so what I am saying, that we are here and we have to fulfill the obligation of the deen. We are doing good. Salah, Siyam, Hajj, MashaAllah, very good. We have to fulfill the obligation of time and place. We are here, and this time and this place required from us other obligations. And the greatest one is leadership. Who's going to turn things around? Who's going to put this in a plan? Who's going to mobilize us and motivate us to work on those fronts? Leadership. And we are in bad shape. We are in bad shape. And this will be the topic of the next Sunday talk, leadership. And the last one is what Imam, Sheikh, scholar Farhan Zubairi last night said. هذا بلاغ للناس ولينذروا به وليعلموا أنما هو إله واحد وليذكر أولو الألباب. This is the function of the Quran. هذا بلاغ للناس. بلاغ, a announcement, declaration from Allah to an-nas. وَلِيُنذَرُوا بِهِ, to receive warning by it. وَلِيَعْلَمُوا أَنَّمَا هُوَ إِلَهٌ وَاحِدٌ, knows only there is one God. وَلِيَذَّكَّرَ أُولُو الْأَلْبَابِ. These are 4 functions Allah sent the Quran to us. It's not just memorization, which is very good, and honestly I tell you the truth, this masjid is better than any masjid in the whole country in caring about the Quran, but partially. It's just memorizing and bringing hafiz. We got to go beyond that. We get actually, since we are better than others, we should lead the other centers, the other masjids, the other schools where we move forward. هذا بلاغ للناس ولينذروا به وليعلموا أنما هو إله واحد وليذكر أولو الألباب. جزاكم الله خير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.